I am ashamed today to call myself a South African. The image that are coming out of Durban make me to be ashamed.
Remember people always asking me that in Kenya, like, but why do you guys hate us so much? Why do you hate your fellow Africans so much? And it fills you there with guilt and shame.
Being South African at the moment is quite embarrassing, and I want to have these conversations in a manner that is quite objective, right?
Guys, as a South African traveling to like other African countries, I don't think I'm more embarrassed to be South African than when I leave and I go to other African countries. I'd have a great time. And then
this is you. It's a real video.
No,
this is you.
That is AI.
This is you.
That is AI.
This is you.
It's never been violent. And
you're slapping someone in this video.
Yeah, okay.
So South Africans that are not parts of this xenophobia that is going on in South Africa are saying they are ashamed, especially South Africans that are outside South Africa or they do travel are saying they are ashamed to be South Africans, because what is happening, definitely we all know it is not all of them that are in support of what is happening. So many of them are coming out to say that they are ashamed. Even Julius Malema is saying he is ashamed to be a South African, because look at what is happening. This thing has been happening every year, but it seems like 2026 is like just crazy, and it seems like they wait till they are getting closer to their elections, then they do this. I don't want to talk much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you don't lose anything by liking, just give the video a thumbs up. Let's go into the video, watch what South Africans are saying, come back and talk.
I am ashamed today to call myself a South African. The image that are coming out of Durban make me to be ashamed. You are beating blacks. You are slaughtering Africans. I've never seen you doing that to a Chinese. I've never seen you doing that to a white person who doesn't have papers. I've never seen you do that to an Indian without papers. But once they say it's an African, because you hate yourself, because white people taught you to hate yourself, you kill other Africans. Stop that nonsense. It ends today. We must unite as Africans. Don't glorify these borders. Uti, hey, there is Zimbabwe, there is Nigeria. These borders were never here. These borders were imposed on us by white people who wanted to divide Africa and do what they wanted to do with this continent of Africa. Bias Luis Alababantu, they are causing divisions amongst Africa.
Guys, as a South African traveling to like other African countries, I don't think I'm more embarrassed to be South African than when I leave and I go to other African countries. I'd have a great time. And then they'll ask me a question, oh, so where are you from? Like, South Africa. And it's either one or two responses. Either one, like, oh wow, South Africa, that's so cool, I'm a piano. Or two, why are you killing us? Why is this? Why you want to kick us out? Why is that? I'm like, and like now you always have to like take the smoke for your whole country or your government policies that aren't really solving the problem in itself. But hey man, what am I supposed to say, yo? Yeah, xenophobia is really affecting a lot of South African relations to other African countries. And yeah, I'm having to be in the trip and having to constantly apologize for being South African or for the things that we do, and just like yeah, and we know it's wrong, like we hate it too, but like it's not fun.
From now on, I won't be a South African. I'm ashamed to call myself a South African. I am a Nigerian. Call me names, I don't care. I don't care anymore, because these are our people. I am an African, and then end of the day they will be killed, and then there will be no justice. What for? All I'm asking is a Nigerian government to stand and fight for our people. What about the future, our children? As I'm speaking with you, I left with two boys. They have questions. This morning, the 13 years boy said, "Mommy, I'm still scared to go to school. Is it a crime to be Nigerian? Why did they have to kill my father? What have they done? Mommy, am I safe? I feel that I'm not more safe. What kind of country is this? That a human being will be killed and then the suspect will just get a bail and walk freely. Like, seriously, I'm very angry. I'm too aggressive. This morning to my work, I just crack and cry because I still have questions. End of the day, the suspect is freely with his family. What about our children? Who cares about them? So I'm asking a Nigerian embassy to stand and fight for our people. They need to feel safe in this country, not to live like a fear people. All the time when they walk, these people, they work for themselves. They never steal. They'll never steal. They're hardworking people. Whatever they earn, they work for it. But our government here in South Africa, they just let people to be killed and they won't even get any taxes. But in this one, I swear to God Almighty, I need justice. I need justice, and I know the God that I'm serving, He will do justice for me and my children.
Remember people always asking me that in Kenya, like, but why do you guys hate us so much? Why do you hate your fellow Africans so much? And it fills you there with guilt and shame. Like that makes you feel terrible. But I do think that that we can detect a political agenda here somehow as well. I think, politically speaking, the pressure on the government to provide, because the government has a responsibility to some extent to help people, to support like a livelihood for people, right? Which means jobs, and it means healthcare, and it means access to basic services, exactly, education, etc. And where the state is not able to provide that, it's almost easier to find a scapegoat to say, we're trying so hard to provide all of these things for you, but then these guys come and they take your jobs, they take your woman, they take your whatever, they take your streets, they take everything. So look at them, you must go shout at them, And so it fuels this sense of like, yeah, these people, they come here and they just ruin our country and they take everything of ours. And that's where the fight becomes, where essentially your government is failing you, right? Like you have the right to receive certain level of, support from the state. And there is a responsibility on the state to provide certain things. And where it's failed to, I do think that it has created a scapegoat out of foreign nationals. But and this is happening in many other countries too, right? But in South Africa, it's taken a particularly violent turn.
Yes.
I'm not sure where that comes from. Like, why does it turn into such a violent form of
But I think, where did that anger from pre-94 dissipate to? I think there's also that as well. So yeah. I think that still, that hostility, that, the promise, I don't know, Lindy, would you say the promise was fulfilled?
No, the promise was not fulfilled. The promise was not fulfilled. And to make matters worse, like there seems to have also been so even the apartheid government, like during apartheid, let me start there. During apartheid, African countries were fully supportive of the apartheid struggle. From our neighbors in Lesotho and Botswana to Zambia to Nigeria to, it was only when I was in Kenya as a full-grown adult that I learned that civil servants in Nigeria had a portion of their tax, were taxed a certain amount of money from their salary that went to supporting the struggle in South Africa. It was called the Mandela tax. Imagine.
I've never heard about that.
Any civil servant, if you worked for the government, you paid a small tax that went to supporting the struggle against apartheid. That is the extent to which we had so much support on the continent. But from the apartheid government's perspective, it wasn't in our interest to know this. They wanted Black South Africans to feel alone. You don't have anybody out there fighting for you, rooting for you, willing to die for you. No. All you have is us and these rules, right? Like all you have is the apartheid state. You have your little homelands or whatever. This is all you've got. You've got no one out there fighting for you. So we just didn't know this stuff. And then suddenly 1994 comes and we're not educated about it. We're not educated about the fact that these people are, in fact, all of these stereotypes about what the rest of Africa was like, it was in the interest of the apartheid government for us to maintain those stereotypes in a sense to say, there's nothing for you out there. The rest of Africa is just some village. Here, at least the apartheid government is giving you this and this and this and this. What do you want out there anyway? So we didn't even, our education system didn't even create room for us to learn about what was happening in the rest of the continent, And that, largely speaking, has not changed. South Africans are not like fully well educated about what is happening on the rest of the continent. It's starting to change: education, news, music, like pop culture,
socially,
Instagram. Like now, exactly. Now it's evolving and changing. But I mean, for most of my life, education-wise, I don't think I learned much about the continent until university. And again, credit just the personal relationships I established with people from around the continent and from Zimbabwe and everywhere else, But and I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done in re-educating South Africans about, first of all, the history, but even the contemporary aspects of identifying as Africans. And just to add to that one last thing, like when I lived in Kenya, in South Africa, like we refer to ourselves by, like when we speak racially, we refer to ourselves by the color, right? Like I'm black, or this person's white, or this person's colored, or whatever. But in Kenya, no one calls themselves black. Like they just don't use the term black. You're either a Kenyan or you're not, or you're an African. You can be an African. But say, for instance, if I'm in Kenya and there's two Lindys, no one will say the black Lindy. You say the African Lindy.
Sorry guys, that must have been very loud. I didn't mean to cackle like that.
Being South African at the moment is quite embarrassing, and I want to have these conversations in a manner that is quite objective, right? I love it here, I love my people, but we have to speak about this illegal foreigners thing and what that says about us, where we are as a people and as a country, because we're not directing that energy, that effort, that attention to the root of the chaos, the root of the instability, which is not only a corrupt government, but a system that is still persisting in this country, which is apartheid. I say this all the time: if you blink once in this here Nzansi, everything can return to what it was pre-1994. That's how alive the apartheid legacy, effect, system is in this country. So it's not about the illegal foreigners. Come on, guys. And I'm not saying that people do not, do criminal activities. Yeah, we hear that. That's valid. But that's a crime problem, right? Who's supposed to be dealing with the crime? Who is supposed to be protecting the people of this country? Who is supposed to be feeding the people of this country? The government. The same ANC which has been fraternizing with white capital, white capitalists pre-1994. That government, the agents of the white supremacist system, those people are a problem. So if we're not going to bother ourselves with checking those guys and their friends out, assessing them consciously and accurately, then nothing works. Nothing works because things are rotten to the core. Maybe it's time we deal with the fact that there actually is no South Africa post-1994. There is no South Africa post-1994. If I can blink and everything can reorganize itself back to what it was during apartheid, if it still takes more to go 40 minutes go fitla go mmerekong a no namelana le di-taxi tse ding ga gona sepe se se fetogileng. Our people right now are living in abject poverty, sweetie. It's real. It is real and heartbreaking and gut-wrenching what they are doing to our people and their souls and their quality of life. As the illegal foreigners, we have nothing. We have been giving nothing, so we have nothing. That's just the truth of the matter. What is it that we are fighting for? The legacy of apartheid. We have to deal with the matter at the root. Here's the truth. The truth is we hate ourselves. We hate ourselves and we show it And it's okay to talk about these things. We have been taught, we have been conditioned to hate ourselves. It's a learned thing, but we have to recognize it, awareness. We have to recognize it in order for us to, do something about it. Because if we truly loved ourselves, if we truly saw things clearly, we would be having very pertinent conversations with the people who claimed to liberate us. We would be confronting them head on and doing what we need to do. Hit me up when this becomes about self-love and self-worth and not about scapegoating, not about finding the most convenient, the most lazy, the most predictable response. Again, it is nothing personal. It is how you were taught. And that's the thing about education. We can learn things and unlearn them. And honey, we have got to start seeing ourselves. Because this one that we're in right now, when you're programmed, conditioned, and taught to hate yourself, you do exactly that. You hate yourself because you were programmed to do so. So that same hate is not your way out of the program, you see. In order to awaken, in order to collapse that program, you need to love yourself. I mean, the manner in which we're severing connections and ties to the diaspora and the continent, these are people who've seen us, people who've held us, right? This is very, very important. I miss when we were all just black. Let me just say that. I miss when we were all just black, seeing the enemy for who it truly is, right? And I'm not saying other people are successful in doing this. That's not a conversation I'm having. That's definitely a conversation for another day. I can only speak within this context because it is the one that I am inhabiting. We have to start loving ourselves. We have to start seeing ourselves. We have to start defining ourselves on our own terms, right? And remember that this is the same environment that generates greatness, that has generated greatness, and with the potential to continue to do so. So it's really time to wake up and realize that the monster has been inside the house all along. And it appears to be dormant or sleeping or friendly, but its belly hungers for you. And if you are not careful, it will have your bones. Because that's just what the monster does. You do not get to brag about your stable country without a reference to its past. The same past that did what exactly to people of your kind? That treated them how? It is easy and convenient and lazy to hate yourself and hate that which looks like you when you've been taught that you are worthless, that you are subhuman. But here's where the beauty and the joy is. When you finally awaken to what a lie that is, and you recognize who's telling you that lie, who's benefiting from you believing that lie, that is when you disrupt everything and take yourself back, which is the work we should all be concerning ourselves with right now. Things have got to change in this country. They've got to change. And we cannot expect anyone to put us first if we aren't willing to put ourselves first enough to face reality. The reality of this country, of its history, what that has done to people of our kind, our nervous systems, our self-perception, our ability to name things, to shape reality, our own reality. Apartheid is so much more than systemic warfare. It is spiritual. It is an attack on your soul. And so is colonialism and imperialism, which are hells we have had to live through.
The Zulu nation are actually trying to do something that as a nation we are overlooking. And I feel like if we overlook it for too long, eventually in the next coming years, it'll palla kopeng. They are trying to create a systemic fear around who they are as a nation. This has nothing to do about foreigners taking jobs or taking women or whatever the case might be. This is more about creating a systemic fear around who they are as a nation. So that other tribes, if they ever decide to stand up against them in the near future, we will remember what they did to the foreigners. And this will serve as a constant reminder and evidence of their power, and they will abuse it. We have seen them abuse their power in so many instances. What makes us think that when the foreigners are gone, we are not next? I don't know if you guys have seen, but they've pushed their power and they've abused it for so many years. And because we've kept quiet about it, we don't even see that it's an abuse of power. We are thinking, oh, inclusivity, oh, this and that. They pushed for Zulu to be put in all the schools in the nation. Whether you are an African school, private or not, they want their language to be there. This is something that is not done by other tribes, mind you. We are more of a, if they want, they can. They pushed for the languages to be in the schools. And they used the law to defend themselves. They are running something here that looks like apartheid, but it's better because it's a black on black hate. Therefore, they understand our mind better and they understand our weaknesses better. I am telling you guys, we are going to have an apartheid 2.0 in tribal wars. Because when they're done with the foreigners and they've cleaned the nation, as they say, the next thing they are coming for is us, the ones who are not speaking Zulu, and they're gonna want for us to speak their language. They're gonna want for us to start speaking their language. I'm telling you guys, the thing that they are pushing, it's bigger than what you guys think. It's bigger than what you guys think. And by the time we wake up and we realize it, and the war that they are causing in the country. A tribal war is coming, guys. A tribal war is coming. And guess who's next on the target list? Limpopo. You are next. Already they see us as foreigners. We are next. And all the other tribes are going to follow. So if we do not rally as tribes and stop this, I don't know, Nyokala, Sizokala, we are next, guys.
Hello and welcome to Eyewitness News. My name is Tabi Sokoba and today I'm joined by Ungoskona Ndabandaba, an activist. Can I call you an anti-illegal immigration activist?
I don't know, but yeah, let's do that for now.
Let's start with the 30th of June. Where does this deadline come from and what's going to happen on the 30th of June?
The deadline comes from, we've been marching for almost 1 year and 6 months. We are saying we have to have a deadline, and so that we can see where we stand with and how many people have obeyed the order and how many people are responding to what we are saying. So we that's where it's coming from.
And these marches, some of them have been violent and there's been looting. There's a particular video I want to show you. I think this is you hitting someone.
No, it's not me, it's AI.
This is you. It's a real video.
No,
this is you.
That is AI.
This is you.
That is AI.
This is you.
It's never been violent. And
you're slapping someone in this video.
Yeah. Okay. So I've hit a lot of people in my videos and in my marches. See, we are 5,000 men walking this direction, and when somebody is standing there and I'm hitting them, and they run back to the 5,000 people, that is our people. That is not somebody who's a foreign person. Because if 5,000 people are coming and walking towards you, and if I hit you, you should run the other direction or run away from the crowd. You can't be running into the crowd.
There's been looting too when you've been marching. As you said, you've been marching. There's also been looting. This is another video of Ukaka CFM of people looting eThekwini.
Yeah, I've never been part of any march that has done looting. I have led biggest crowds in South Africa. Nobody has led biggest crowds as I do alone, but there's been no looting. These are opportunists who uses these marches when we are not there and they start looting. And police must deal with those people because they are not part of us.
Do you take any responsibility for this violence and the looting that happens by these opportunists when you guys march?
No, we don't take those. We don't take any responsibility for that, because if we are going to march, we issue a post and we are always there on the date that we issue the post for. So if somebody starts doing their own thing while we are not there, so we can't be responsible of that.
Awuthintele bafethu even if we leave all this tuck shop for you guys, you will never work like us. Angeke nisebenze ngendlela esisebenza ngayo thina. Never. That's one thing. Another thing, you will never support each other. Nina nifuna indawo nje nizoza nithenge, and then nithukane nithi, hello my friend, ewe nafutsek, ewe namasimba, ewe namasaka, and then you buy. You can never give respect and money at the same time. You know, there was once I asked this guy why he doesn't respect me, and then he told me, mina nikunike mali yami nikurespect wena. And that from that I understand you guys do not give respect and money at the same time. So even if we leave all the shops for you guys, you will never work like us. And even if we leave also the shop for you guys, you will never work together like us. Because all of you guys, everyone for himself.
Hey Mark, so I wake up this morning to stories of March and March propagandists saying Shamulo was a criminal. And what was he doing in a shack at 3 a.m. in the morning? Then March and March had nothing to do with this. You think we're all from Ngungundlovu? Now you have painted the boy as a criminal. Because that's the narrative you want to push, so that March and March does not get any fire from this. We as the Tongas cannot be deterred from this thing. We cannot. Even if you spin the narrative, that one is your narrative. You Zulus and Xhosas, that is your narrative. And if that's how you want to behave, let us make it clear. Let us make it clear. If that's how you want to behave, all of you must leave Limpopo. All Zulus must leave Limpopo. Our people must come back. If you're a Tonga, a vendor, or a Pedi, you are in KZN, we call for you to come back. We will not be responsible for what happens to you in KZN. The same way, if there are Zulus in here on the 30th of June, we will not be held responsible for what we do to them. We see a KZN number plate in Limpopo. We will not be held responsible. Since you guys want to treat us like this, you are taking the death of this young man and you are making it a joke and you are making him a criminal. You are saying because he's Tonga. You kill Tonga criminals. That's what you do. How many of your criminals do we catch? How many of them have police killed? Huh? And now you're on the 30th. All our people must leave that thing of KZN and come back home. If we find a Zulu in Limpopo, we are not held responsible. Go back home. Go back to KZN.
I don't know how many I told you so's we can say. Everybody saw this coming. It's going to descend into civil war. It's going to descend into civil war. It's going to descend into civil war. Nobody wanted to listen. Here we are. Julius Malema has been coming out saying, if you don't stop this now, eventually we will turn on each other. So now, June 30th, they're saying all Zulus must leave Limpopo. And all...
So you see, this is what is happening, and I am very sure this will get worse with South Africans who are innocent. They will definitely it will get to a point. I even learned there are visas or whatever that are being cancelled, of South Africans that are being cancelled. I don't know how true that is. This is just a hearsay. But listen, there are things that are going to happen in the future to South Africans that probably you guys are not seeing. Now, Malawians, Mozambicans have basically brought buses to South Africa to pick their people out of South Africa. And this is the reason why South Africans are mad at Ghana, because they feel like Ghana started all of this. But the question is, you guys, things were happening, you were not doing anything. The government was not doing anything. I shared a video yesterday that some South Africans looted some Chinese man's shop or whatever. Immediately, over 100 of those guys were arrested. But when it comes to the Africans, that their shops have been looted left, right, center, being beaten and all that, and unalive. No police officers. Even sometimes some of these things happen in front of these these police officers and nothing is being done. So what do you want us to do? You brought this upon yourselves. And the good South Africans or the South Africans that are not in support of this, let me tell you, if you sit down and you say you are not going to act or do anything, listen, it will get to a point you will also be affected. That is how these things go. That's how they go, because you have to do something. There is something that you guys can do. I'm very sure your numbers are even more than these guys that are doing this, their numbers, or like the numbers of these guys who are doing this. You must do something, because if you sit aloof and you say you are not going to do anything because you are not part of it, it will get your turn. I rest my case. Thank you so much for watching.